Good morning, everyone. Delighted to be here to pitch at NOAH this morning. I'm here today to present Insolight. I'm the CEO and co-founder, and the goal of Insolight is to feed the citizen, but also the grid at the same time. So a few words about the company. We were founded in 2015, based in Lausanne in Switzerland. Currently, about 20 employees combining expertise in agronomy, PV, and business. And we are developing agrivoltaic solutions where the goal is to protect crops and at the same time generate solar electricity. Before talking about our solution, I wanted to talk about the problem. So as you know, we need massive solar deployments over the next years. And on the same time, you need to protect crops from climate changes. So you are creating plastic seas to cover them. So one obvious thing is to combine both infrastructure, to have dual use of the land, but also dual use of the structure itself. If we just look at berries, which are crops that like shade in Europe, this is already a 200 billion potential market. So the surfaces are extremely big. It's not niche. And if you look at orchards and other crops that need protection, it's much more. So this is a movie we did about 2 years ago about the solution, explaining a bit what it does and also the potential.
What if we could feed citizens and the grid at the same time? Introducing Insolagrin, a novel agrivoltaic solution. Many crops need protection from too much sunlight. Our agrivoltaic solution combines solar electricity and food production on the same land by giving shade to crops. No more need for plastic tunnels or greenhouse screens. Large areas become available for producing energy. But Insolagrin is more than a simple solar installation. It's also a new tool for farmers with dynamic adjustment of the light to optimize crop growth over seasons and climate changes. Insolagrin solar cells efficiently turn light excess into renewable energy, and it provides protection to crops. The module is also designed for seamless integration in glasshouses. The control software is an important part of Insolagrin. Our tracking algorithm integrates agronomic targets while maximizing electricity production. Data on electricity and light is continuously recorded on our web interface, enabling a live monitoring of the installation. Since Insolagrin is both a solar installation and an agronomic tool, it leads to economic benefits. To evaluate this new technology, a large agrivoltaic pilot has been deployed by Insolight, Agroscope, the Swiss Center of Excellence for Agronomy, and Romande Energie, a mainstay in the Swiss energy industry. By delivering energy-positive fruits to the market, Insolagrin aims for multiple sustainable development goals at once. Do you want to eat fruit and save carbon? Join us for the scale-up.
So that was 2 years ago on one of our first, let's say, agronomic pilots at Agroscope in Switzerland with many partners. I will talk about it a bit more. And since then, we have started the scale-up. So this is a reminder, simply a replacement of plastic tunnels, but the installation you see here is one of those we did this year in Gelfingen with a farmer, 3,000 square meter installations. And the key thing about Insolagrin was said in the video, it's not only about PV, it's also about agronomy. Actually, the PV part is super important because it's the main financing value, but the key in this market is to understand crops and farmer needs because they decide what goes on their lands, and you need to make good agricultural tools for them and also to comply with all the regulations that are coming. So it's all about making a tool that does two things. And it's also generating two revenue streams. You have on one side the agricultural value as you're replacing plastic tunnels or hail nets. And at the same time, you have the value of the electricity, which is like a standard solar installations. In some cases, growers invest in the whole thing. In some other cases, especially on bigger plants, you have third-party investors like in any solar projects. I'm going to show a few examples of projects we built this year. So this is one also in Vallis, where what is interesting is that we did it with several partners, Romand Energy again, but also Migros, who is, as you know, a leader in the fruit distribution in Switzerland. And they sold those baskets of fruit in 24 Migros shops. So this was the first marketing pilots with energy-positive fruits. And we think it's very interesting also to drive the demand from the bottom of the value chain. We also are starting to do projects in France, like here with one of the key berry producer is southwestern France. Or another project here in Switzerland. This one is integrated in a greenhouse. It's so far the biggest we built, and I just wanted to show you another video about the scale of what we build now. This was during the construction works. The overall installation is 16,000 square meter, and it's meant to be with different shading levels over different areas. So this was the evolution of Insolight. It took us quite some time to figure out the technology right, do trials. We have been doing trials on agronomy for about 4 years now. And you see the scale up starting this year. We are moving now to the megawatt peak deployed, and also to several tons of fruits that were produced below the installations. And maybe this is the first line here, so 5 installations accounting for 2.5 million revenues. This is the results for this year, but what is maybe even more promising is the pipeline. We have currently under development 31 projects across 3 geographies, Switzerland, France, and Italy, where we are starting our efforts, and this accounts roughly for 50 million of future revenues. So, as you all know, it's all about creating pipeline for the future. It takes time to develop projects because you have permitting and so on involved. So right now we have under discussions about 90 projects which account for 190 million of potential revenue. So it's all about accumulating future projects that we develop where we file permitting, grid connection, and so on. And of course, maybe commenting on the financials, this translates into a financial plan, a rollout, where we see very strong potential to reach 100 million revenues within 5 years, and also to be break-even in 2026, because the project starts to generate some margin, and you reach a critical level where you can pay the OPEX. And there is a great scalability in this business, because already now we have managed to generate this pipeline with only about 20 people. So it's the beauty maybe of this kind of projects is that you need very few resources, and the bigger the project gets, the costs stay more or less the same. So you have very good scalability. So we are doing fundraising. We are targeting to raise in the short term 20 million. But as you see here, it's not only about equity, now it's also about raising debt for working capital. And we also aim to start financing our own assets. So we will do an equity ticket of 6 million short term to basically increase the number of crops use case and also increase our commercial team. But the other proceeds will be for project finance and working capital. And to conclude, I think this project that drives us is the amazing ESG impact you can get, because on one side you have the usual benefits of producing clean energy, but on the other side you are also protecting crops against extreme climatic events. So you're increasing their resilience against climate changes. This results in saving of waters. This results also in a better protection against cold, for instance, against frost or hail. So when you impact agriculture and energy at the same time, this has a tremendous, of course, ESG impact. So thanks a lot for your attention. Very happy to talk to you more about AgriPV and Insolight if you have some time after. Thank you.